Hi, this is Dan Petrock. This is a video showing how to sync your MyStatLab gradebook or MyMathLab gradebook to your Blackboard gradebook to make sure they're both set up before the students get into the course. And I also use weighted grades, so I'll kind of show you how that's all done. I've already got a course where I've linked before, and we've got another video on how to link the two together. So I'm going to go into the one that's been linked for this summer term. If I go under Tools and I go into Pearson, MyLab, and Mastering, you can see it's already had a book selected. I've already selected the correct text. So really all I need to do now is go into the gradebook. And what I'm doing here is just to kind of confirm it's got everything I need. So here I am in the gradebook. Obviously there's no students in here yet. And you definitely want to do this before students get loaded. So we go to Change Weights and Grade Sync Settings. We just want to make sure it's set on raw points. It's going to send the raw points they get in each assignment back to Blackboard. Honestly, this weighting thing is irrelevant now. You can adjust this if you want to, like, for some reason, double check to make sure it's calculating their homework grade correctly or something. But and this is so weird how it sometimes just defaults to this whacked out category weighting. But honestly, it's irrelevant because all we're going to do is just send these raw scores back to Blackboard, and then we're going to let Blackboard deal with those raw scores. So even if one assignment's worth 20 or another one's worth 10 or whatever, it's going to create a column with that many points. It's going to send those points back that they get, and then Blackboard will calculate their weighted grade with those. But as you can see, I've got all these assigned. There's a few that we don't do that are not assigned. And notice the box is checked here. It says send to Blackboard. So just want to confirm that I've got all of them that are assigned and that they're checked. Obviously, you can kind of go back and if you want to add an assignment or take one out, that's okay. But what we're doing here is just making sure we're going to create a column for every one of these online homeworks, and we're going to send it to Blackboard. And this all looks good. So really, there's nothing to do here. You can hit save, but I really didn't do anything. I didn't change anything, so they're all set. Okay, so as far as MyStatLab is concerned, we're good. It's going to send everything back, and so now all I need to go is back into my course, go to Grade Center, Full Grade Center, and when I'm here, as you can see, I've got it's already set up to have my weighted total. It's got all my discussions in there. It's got a final exam. It's got a few paper and pencil exams. But what I need to do now is send and have it create a column for all of the MyStatLab assignments. So the way to do that is to go to Manage and then go to Manage Pearson, MyLab, and Mastering. And then we're going to it's got a Set Up Grade Synchronization. And I'm just going to go ahead and all available MyLab and Mastering assignments, because it's going to find all of those. I'm going to hit Next. And then what category do I want them to come into? This is kind of nice. I mean, the default is it brings them in as just generic assignments, but I've created in my weighted gradebook a category called MyStatLab Homework. You could create your own or whatever you want to name it. So I'm going to bring them all in as MyStatLab Homework. So when I look in the gradebook, I know those all came from MyStatLab. Include these in the Grade Center. Yep. And I'm going to hit Submit, and then it's going to go ahead and find all of them. So now, if I go ahead and hit, I think if I just hit refresh, it'll go. I'm going to go ahead and hit sync settings. Nope, this is all good. So I've got it all set up. I'm going to hit refresh grades. So this will ask me, hey, so if you ever made changes in MyStatLab, like added a homework or whatever, you're going to have to hit this refresh grades thing so it'll know. So notice it's got all of those deployed. All of them that were selected in MyStatLab are here. I can double check all those. They're all here. Looks good. And yeah, these are all done. So I think if I hit submit, it's going to create a column with all of these, and it'll be good to go. So I'm just going to hit submit. Yep, all 37 items. It's going to add 37 columns to my grade center. And if I go to full grade center now, we should, I'm not sure how long it'll take. Let's see here. We'll see if it does it automatically. Yep, there they are. So all of those have been put in now, which is great. And if I go to Manage, Column Organization, I'll see them all there. Notice everything that came over as a MyStatLab homework. The only negative thing now is they're not necessarily in order. So now I'm going to have to go through the somewhat painful task of reordering things. So for instance, I'll just show how I'll do Chapter 1. I want all the Chapter 1 homework to go first. So I'm going to move this one up. There's 1-1, 1-2. There's 1-3. I've got a introduction syllabus quiz. I'm going to want the Chapter 1 discussion board in there. So the experimental design. Okay, that's good. So what I'll have to do is just kind of reorganize all these the way it kind of flows through the course. Just double check to make sure all those are done and hit submit. And that should be good. If I go under my weighted letter grades here, let's see here. There we go. Weighted. Here's my weighted total. If I hit edit column information, I can kind of see the weightings I've got set up. So notice I've got 15% for my final, 45% for tests, 10% for discussions, and 30% for MyStatLab homework. So, and I have them weighted equally, which means it doesn't matter how many points they are. They're all going to be weighted equally within that category. You can make it proportional. So if one assignment has more points than another, it will do that as well. You just have to click that box. And so, yeah, I should be good to go. And then I could do a secondary display. That's just for me. I could do that. I think I could make that a letter grade. But I'm not going to do anything different there. And then my letter grade here, edit column information there. Primary display. Ooh, I want that. Primary display is going to be letter, I believe, but I should double check to see what that is, because I don't know if I see my grading schema in here or not. Let's go ahead and check it out. Manage grading schemas. Let's see what we got here. Letter. Oh, I may have to go in here and edit this. Oh no, those all look good. I suppose I could rename that to let me know that it's all set up right. In fact, you know what? I'm going to name that. I'm going to name it letter Petrock. There we go. And then I'm going to submit that. So now I'll know for sure that that's my, kind of my letter graded, or you can do the same thing there. So let's edit this. Let's see if this display. Yep, yeah, that's cool. So it's all good. So as far as I can tell, other than just reorganizing the columns to get them in the right spot, like for instance, making sure my date of last attendance is at the end. Like for instance, I don't want this date of last activity. I don't want that. I probably want that pulled off. That's my last column. That's not even visible to the students. Like that. This orientation, that should probably go up the top. So it's going to take me a little time to get everything kind of in the order I want. But other than that, I've got all my columns ready to go. Looks good. So hope this video helps get your gradebook synced. The negative is when you copy this, if you actually copied this course to another course and you copied this gradebook, it will carry all of these columns through, which means then if you synced in another gradebook, you'd have duplicate columns. So my suggestion is, maybe just recopy from the signature course each time. And the signature course does not have all these columns in it. It's got just a more basic grading scheme, or the most basic grading book. And then that would be, well, it would save you a lot of time. You wouldn't have to delete all of those again. So that's something you can, I'd be willing to help you with to kind of talk through. So hope this helps, and good luck. And so far, it's been working great. It's been nice to have all the grades in one place here in Blackboard.